let's have a quick conversation about Meta Advantage versus manual setup. Okay, so I want to do a quick compare and contrast between those two Meta Advantage. Meta advertising, and it's really important that if you are trying to advertise on Meta platforms, you need to really be clear as to which setup will be better suitable for your projects, for your business, for your online store, or whatever. Okay. So let me give you an overview that you need to really keep in mind if you want to understand the whole thing about Meta Advantage plus versus manual setup. So when it comes to Facebook advertising, AI is nothing new. Okay, basically, Meta has been using AI for some time now. Based on my calculations, they've been using it for the last 5 years. Okay, so they started with DL, deep learning, and then they actually shifted to artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is nothing new. But with Meta Advantage Plus, basically, Meta, the company, is putting more focus on AI-driven campaigns, and Meta has not been not only encouraging users to adopt these AI features into their advertising strategies, but they've been also making it extremely difficult not to use these features and to set up campaigns and ad sets the old-fashioned way. Okay, so you can see that basically the new business model for Meta's executives is that they want you to really embrace the whole AI bandwagon, if you will. Okay, so that's something to really keep in mind. So the question is basically if you don't have the proper setup for it, Meta Advantage Plus versus manual setup, you are going to be at a disadvantage. Okay, so that's really the bottom line here. So if you think about Meta Advantage Plus, think about a core of all Facebook ads, AI capabilities, and Meta Advantage Plus tools and features are AI powered solutions designed to execute specific Facebook ad campaign strategies and tactics more efficiently. Okay, so the largest takeaway from my perspective is that you're basically handing over the keys to your paid advertising to a machine learning tool with limited visibility into how that thing really works. I mean, Meta has not been advertising too much about how their algorithm works. But hey, listen, you have to trust the platform. You have to trust the system that it will do basically what it has promised to do. Okay, I'll be talking more about that in the next few minutes, so you have a better understanding about the whole artificial intelligence driven products that Meta advertising is really pushing to the market. So if you think about the Meta Advantage Plus, you have to understand that it's all about, let's say, deep learning. It's all about artificial intelligence, but most importantly, it's all about automation. Okay, this is really important to think about that. So of course, there are pros and cons. There are positives and there are negatives. Okay, and when you think about positives, you are able to get things done more efficiently. You're able to really target a larger population set. You are able to actually automate a few things here and there in your Meta ad campaign setup. Okay, so that's pretty good. But on the flip side, I think I've said this before. Basically, you don't have a lot of visibility into what's really happening behind closed doors, so to speak, because you're basically handing over, the powers of, your powers, your control over your Meta advertising to quote unquote what I call a third party, because the AI machine within Facebook and within Instagram, within WhatsApp is still a third party. Okay, this is not you. This is not your business. Okay, so this is important. So what you have to understand here is that basically, if you are creating a new campaign in Meta ads going forward, and you are trying to really get around Meta Advantage Plus, you're not going to go far. Facebook wants you to really use their new features. Okay, that's actually the new money making machine for them. Okay, so it's important to understand that you want to really go with the recommended settings, but you have to really tweak things a little bit. Okay, of course, Facebook has control, but to a certain extent, because you're still the one paying for the ad. You're still the one who set up the account. You're still the one who really has to specify, let's say, important settings like geography, demographics, psychographics, interests, all that kind of stuff. Okay, this is important. So the today's conversation, when I'm speaking about Meta Advantage Plus versus manual setup, it's all about choosing the right features, the right settings for your ad campaign. Okay, of course, AI is going to automate the whole thing, but you have to really, have a some level of control, and the level of control will come from the settings. Really, if you think about it. The reason why Meta Advantage Plus versus manual setup is important is that you want to really make sure you are getting qualified leads. When you set up an ad in Meta Advantage Plus, you want to make sure the quality of the leads is actually impeccable. Not impeccable, but let's say decent. Okay, and because you see, the whole thing is you have a lot of possibilities within Meta Advantage Plus, including the Meta lookalike audiences. Okay, lookalike audiences. Again, this is actually Meta's push to automate much of the advertising journey for entrepreneurs, for marketers, for small business owners. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that basically you want to qualify the leads coming from your ads, right? So of course you can set up the settings properly. You can set up geography, demographics, passions, interest, all that kind of stuff. But if you don't have the right setup in Meta Advantage Plus, and you're just giving the control, you're giving latitude to the machine to really do whatever it wants to do, you might be surprised about the kind of results you get. Okay, this is important. So what you want to do is you want to give Meta AI a lot of input. You want to give them as many inputs as possible, so that in the end, basically, the AI machine is actually forced to work only with the inputs that you actually set it up for it. Okay, this is important. So don't really just don't forget that you are in control. You are the paying client. Okay, and what I want to say also is that based on our research, we realized that Meta Advantage Plus is actually good for certain geographies and not others. So it's great in Europe, it's great in the States, it's great. Let's just say it's great in North America, it's great in Europe, it's great in certain parts of Asia, including Japan and China. It's great also in certain parts of Latin America, including Brazil and Argentina. But if you want to use Meta Advantage Plus for like let's say Africa, for instance, you might be a little disappointed. They still are refining the process for even Australia and New Zealand. So that's really it's a working process, by the way. So if you think about Meta Advantage Plus versus manual setup, which is really better this year? I mean, it's one of those things where you have to really ask yourself, where should you really put your dollars? Where should you put your operational resources? Where should you really put your efforts, your focus? Okay. So Meta's Advantage Plus is essentially a black box as of right now. Okay. We don't really know how or why it is making decisions, but we do know that it has the goal of driving leads or clicks, whichever your intended goal is, at the highest volume for the lowest cost, right? That's the proposition that Meta has told the public, told marketers, told entrepreneurs, told small business owners. It's trying to really help you drive leads, okay, at the highest volume for the lowest cost. But like I said a little earlier, it's not just about driving leads. You want those leads to be qualified. You want those leads to be to be of certain quality, if you will. Okay, so this is important. So now it's important to also understand that when you think about Google, right? Meta's new business model when it comes to advertising is not really that different from what Google is doing, or even Bing for that matter. Okay, this is not entirely different than how automated bidding works in both Google and Bing. However, the difference is that you specified that audience, and then the machine learning works within the audience that you created or specified, managing the bidding aspect and which people in the audience to serve ads to and when. Okay, so basically, Meta's Meta Advantage Plus is actually slicing and dicing your target audience and really choosing actually what it thinks is the best psychographic setup for you, the best audience setup for you. Okay, and sometimes it uses audience lookalike to really compare and contrast what the machine has actually chosen. Okay, so that's why I was just saying a little bit. I was saying before that it is a complete black box because of the lack of transparency as to how the algorithm works. Of course, Meta has an incentive not to share how the algorithm works. This is a business secret. I understand that, but you have to also see that you have to see it from a client's perspective that you have to really adjust also. So, which is really better? Okay, which is better? Let's talk about that. I want to really explain to you, in the decision. Okay, and the thing is that when manual setup is better, and then I will talk about when Advantage Plus might be better because the jury is still out when it comes to, let's say, the efficiency of that business model. Let's first talk about manual setup. When manual setup is way better, well, with something like Advantage Plus, the machine learning is making the decision on who to target in all of Meta's database of users and is using your suggestions to guide it, but it doesn't understand the way a human would, the subtle nuances that define an audience and make them a qualified lead or a customer, right? I want to insist on that. Qualified leads, because see, the whole thing is there is no purpose in actually targeting 1 billion people if in the end you are just going to have a 10 qualified leads or 15 qualified leads, right? It's all about qualified leads. You want to make sure the quality of the leads that coming out of the whole Meta campaign, advertising campaign, is really solid. Okay, so basically, my takeaway is that on their own, the current state of this Meta Advantage Plus products is not ready to be serviceable to businesses with complex marketing and sales funnels unless the user can directly interact with it and give it more prompts like "this leads are unqualified. This is what will make them better," etc. Okay, this leads are qualified. This kind of stuff. Okay, so as of right now, there is just too much complexity to businesses who have marketing funnels or nuanced products and services for Advantage Plus to work as effectively as other methods. So what I'm trying to say here is that if you are listening to me right now and you happen to have a complex product, you have a complex sales funnel, you have the complex marketing funnel, manual setup is way better than Meta Advantage Plus because of what I just said. The machine doesn't have the depth and breadth of understanding to actually make decisions that a human would normally make, right? So if you have complex setup, complex sales funnels, it just will be too risky from a revenue point of view, but also from a reputational point of view to actually entrust that decision making to a machine. Okay, and you do not want to have that, especially if you are trying to constantly, let's say, build your sales funnel up. So when does Meta Advantage Plus is better, or at least might be better because the jury is still out? Okay, so basically, Meta Advantage Plus, I have found, at least from my research, seems to be very good at targeting options for e-commerce businesses. Okay, so if you are selling online and you are trying to really beef up your engagement rate, your click-through rate, your revenue, so to speak, basically you want to really think about Meta Advantage Plus. And when you think about it, this makes a lot of sense. Okay, sales-oriented businesses are looking for people within a demographic that have particular buying behaviors. In other words, you are basically thinking about psychographics, like you are restricting the psychographics. So what happens here is that if you have this sort of data set, the AI can predict this much better than someone who's going to talk to a sales after submitting a form. Okay, because if you think about an online store or an e-commerce store, the buying process is much simpler and straightforward. So Meta Advantage Plus might be better if you are doing a B2C. Even if you're selling online, but you're doing a B2B process, it's going to be complicated. It's just better to go with manual setup. Okay, So, but if you have a B2C process online, for instance, the sales process is shorter. The sales itinerary is less complex. So, Advantage Plus can really help you big time, especially when it comes to deep learning capabilities, when it comes to artificial intelligence capabilities, but most importantly, when it comes to continuous learning capabilities. See, the whole thing about AI is that basically you are feeding the system lots of data, and the system is getting better, smarter, at every iteration, and that's what you want. You want the ability to have a system that gradually fixes, quote unquote, fixes itself up and feeds you better quality data anytime it receives data from you. So anytime you give them you give it input, it's giving you better output. So what are my final thoughts here? So are you thinking about Meta Advantage Plus versus manual setup? Which one is better? Okay. Well, basically, when you think about it, the current state of Meta Advantage Plus is still a work in process. Okay. I do believe that AI products in marketing will reach a point where there will be the better alternative. Okay, but it's not just there yet. This is why it really you have to be careful when you think about Bing, Meta, and Google Plus. Okay, because those three giants, those three advertising giants, are essentially forcing you to use them by making it increasingly difficult to not use them. Right? Because for them, for those three Goliaths, if you will, it's more profitable for them to actually push it upon customers to use AI agent. Okay, so basically, what I want to say here is that for those companies, also, it's not just about making money. It's about allowing their systems to constantly refine themselves. Okay, so they want to allow their systems to learn and improve. And so this is important, okay? I mean, of course, they are overconfident. When you listen to a sales rep at Google or Meta or Bing, among others, they're telling you, yeah, the AI agent is the solution to everything and anything, and that's not true. That's not true. So bottom line is, if you have to go to either or, ask yourself how complex is your manual funnel, your manual how complex is your marketing funnel? How complex is your sales funnel? If your sales funnel is complex and you are dealing with complex products, you're dealing with complex solutions, you're dealing with complex demographics or complex buying itineraries, then it's just better to stick to a manual setup. I think I've said this before. And of course, Facebook, Meta in general is going to try to force you to go to Advantage Plus. Okay, but you gotta really stand your ground, actually, because if your product is complex or you are selling in a B2B manner, or in a let's say D2G, direct to government, or anything that is not B2C, you have to understand that your sales process is not going to set itself up properly for Meta Advantage Plus. Okay, but on the flip side, if you are selling online and you're selling to consumers, you are having a B2B business model, and you know that your business process is pretty straightforward, your customer journey, your customer itinerary is pretty straightforward, then Meta Advantage Plus can really help you big time, because it has the data, it has the deep learning capabilities, it has also the algorithm that's set up to actually calculate what's the best psychographics to really feed ads to. So, as an epilogue into this conversation, I spoke to you about the Meta Advantage Plus versus manual setup. I give you the overview, the decision, and now the epilogue. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.